Thanks, Matt.
It's not, it's the project.
What new skills have you learned?
That's how he lost it. He couldn't.
You go tell them that. Go tell them.
I've learned, well, I've always really had an interest in, like I said before, the performing arts industry, but I've always been in front of the camera before, so taking part in this committee at the workshops that we run, I've learned skills for behind the camera, for taking on a bit of a directing role, a bit of filming role, learned about lighting, and sound. So I've learned more technical things that that you don't really get a chance to learn when you're in front of the camera.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Matt. Do you want to pass on to Lee? Oh, I've got a couple of questions.
Oh, I thought you might have.
What pathways are there for people who acquire disability later in life?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. I had a stroke when I was 36 years old, and as a result of that I've got an acquired brain injury. Prior to having the stroke, I worked in professional theatre in the production department, and I sang in a band and made a bit of a living out of it for a while. So when I had a stroke at that age, all of a sudden my employment was no more, and my voice was no more for a couple of years until I got it back together again. And I was really hanging to do something creative, and so the first place that I went to was the No Strings Attached Theatre of Disability, which, yes, and I was involved in their Mad Women's program for about 2 years and did a lot of performances through that, and that was great fun. We called it guerrilla theatre. You know, we just sort of would erupt in places, you know, like shopping centres and things like that, and that was terrific. And about the same time as I was doing that, I was involved with Tony Doyle in Arts. Was it Arts for Us or Arts Access at that stage? It's about 12 years ago or something. And also with Robert Petchell, worked on a couple of projects with him.
Robert Petchell's a composer and a theatre producer.
Yeah, and concurrently with that, I was trying to re-educate myself. So I thought, well, now that I've got a disability, I might as well get educated in disability. And so I did a lot of TAFE, and at the end of it ended up with a lifestyle and leisure diploma after a few years, and worked mainly in disability support, mostly in people's homes and things like that, and just tried to keep my hand in creatively. And I'm still doing that to this day, and then I became involved with this particular project as a result of PJ Rose, actually, who's the coordinator of No Strings Attached Theatre. She actually funded me to go to the first workshop that the Oscar Bright team brought while they were out here, and I sort of got bitten by the bug at that point and went to every workshop that they'd allow me to be at, and you'll see in the presentation that comes a little bit more about that. So I don't want to give away too much right now. So does that answer that question?
Well, I mean, the second question was what drew you to become involved, to sit down and show them. Did PJ just ask if you wanted to be involved? Is that how it happened?
No, well, what had actually happened was that I had a little bit of a, what do you call that? must be a bad brain day. Can't think of the word.
An epiphany?
An epiphany.
You had an epiphany?
Yeah. I had an epiphany, and I was talking to PJ one day, and I said, "Oh, look, I don't know. I can't stand doing the work that I'm doing anymore." And I said, "I'm just going to follow my bliss." And she said, "What does that mean for you?" And I said, "Well, it would be something in disability arts." And that's when the flyer for the Oscar Bright Film Festival workshops came across her desk, and that's when she funded me to go there.
Excellent.
So
can you describe for us what Oscar Bright is? Because I don't know that everyone would know what Oscar Bright is.
Oscar Bright is a film festival that's based in the UK, in Brighton in the UK, and it is a film festival where all the films are made and developed by people with what they term a learning disability and what we here would call an intellectual disability. And the main purpose of it is that the disabled artists are artists, and they make the decisions about their work, and they are an integral part of the product rather than people being helped by non-disabled people to create work.
They have all the leadership roles.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
It's a very unique setup, and they came to Clare thanks to TUTTI, who was funding them, and Liam and Matt got to work with them there, didn't you? Yeah. You were in that one, weren't you?
Liam was the leading star in the one in Clare, weren't you? Canine. Superstar, wasn't it? Yeah. Superhero.
Well, that's still there. I think you just stood in front of us. Fantastic. So, Lee, thank you very much. That's great. Great, guys. And thanks for covering while we had the IT sorted out. Almost had the IT sorted out. It's just, Sarah suggested I might ask Felicity a question. Is Felicity open to having a question?
Okay, yes.
Sure. So, Felicity, do you want to tell us who you are and how you're involved in this group?
I'm James Kurtz's mother, and I'm sort of...
Say Jan J.K. Doom.
Oh, Jane K. Doom's mother. I'm a bit of a groupie for the group, you know, I trot around. When James was referring to his time at university, he went on from his school with some of his classmates onto Up the Hill project at Flinders University. I don't know if most of you have heard of it. It's for people with an intellectual disability to experience university life. And he went there for 3 years and interestingly studied mainly screen studies. So
I went to Up the Hill.
Yeah.
Up the Hill.
Up the Hill, yeah, you remember that. And it was truly a great experience, and the project's still going there. And I was on the steering committee for many years, and I've just finished up there. So.
Yeah, right, fantastic. So, we were asking James before about the quality of his program, you know, his activities he was doing beforehand, and so have you seen a difference in him from...
Oh, I think communication has been amazing. It's opened up a lot of communication. I know in a lot of his films, he actually creates what's going on in his life or what he sees, even though he mightn't explain that to us. We can see the links between the movies he makes and what films interesting bits of his life. He's just made a film for Oscar Bright Film Festival, so hopefully we'll get somewhere. And I think you can limit your expectations of people with a disability, and what I've found with James, he always surprises us. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely, thanks for doing Thanks for it.
Well done.
Paul, do you know how to get
I think it's
presenters
great,
on
you
this
know,
side?
because it's the other side, isn't it?
Who's doing that?
You're everything, you're everything. One of the supporting parents. It's amazing how many people out there have got things locked inside. You know? Normal people. Yeah, it's true. Arts and music, that's what art does for you. You're trying to get both.
It's like tricky. Is it a special?
It's 3 days.
Yeah, a special thing. Oh wow.
We'll just go around this way to get their faces in it.
And then it kind of came up with that.
Yes.
Beauty. Now we're cooking.
Okay, yeah, so big apologies for the crazy sort of technology gremlins we're having here. We've probably done a good deal of our presentation, so we'll probably have to skip through to a few things you haven't heard about. I'll just introduce a bit about TUTTI because some of you probably know what TUTTI is, but a lot of you may not. So TUTTI is a multidiscipline arts organisation for artists with a learning disability. TUTTI also means the word everybody, so it's an inclusive organisation. I'll just go forward on the slides here. Can you see? Oh, it's actually working. That's very good, isn't it? Bang. Yeah. So what is TUTTI about? Inclusive extraordinary art is what we're about. Performing arts, some of you may have seen some of our shows. Choirs, which Paul has spoken about, as well as Sarah. Visual arts, we've got a fantastic visual arts program running, now 4 days a week. But today, we're going to be talking mostly about film and new media. So sit down, shut up and watch, which is these guys here. So yeah, the Sit Down, Shut Up and Watch Film and New Media Festival grew out of the TUTTI Arts program. At that time, the Performing Arts program had been running for about 3 years and the Visual Arts for 2 years. So the Digital Arts and Film and Media provided a bridge between these programs. These programs are now really well established. We use a collaborative way of working where the artist's ideas always lead the way, supported by the expertise of TUTTI staff as well as other professionals. So the key thing about what we do is creative decision-making and direction for their art projects is the responsibility of each artist. So in terms of film, with this responsibility has come the necessity to understand how to make films and how to tell a good story. Some of our artists, like we talked about James here, he's exhibited his work internationally and he's won grants for his own projects. 6 years on, we've got strong regional partners from the Barossa and Clare Valley. And so there's a lot of enthusiasm across South Australia, and probably across Australia too, for a dedicated film and new media festival led by people with a learning disability. You've already been introduced to James, but I'm going to introduce him again. He's a very creative young man with quite a wicked sense of humour. A winner of numerous grants, and I think James is living proof of the transformative power of the arts and creativity. When I look back in 2007, first working with James, compared to how he is now, he's a very different young man, and I think his family would probably say something along similar lines. So I'll hand over to James. And where do you want to be, James? Okay, yeah, okay. And I'll try and keep this beast working.
I'm James, I'm also from Spencer.
Now, my story began in 2007 when I first came to the visual arts. I was sorry to say I had to speak or spoke, and I was nervous.
James, it might help because you're a little bit in front of the projector. If you could perhaps, might be better if James is down the other end. Yeah. This is a microphone. You might have to hold it.
So I have to start again. So I was shy, I actually speak. I was nervous. And I like drawing and painting. Like really wanting cartoons or whatever. I like painting about movies, video games, like Mario and Sonic, and cartoon like The Simpsons, all the media stuff I like doing. But painting takes days or weeks or a year. For the more freaker, it's going click, 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 and easier. So it's video. I think video more often taking photos. And computers, but playing around with computers, and internet, and games, and doing my work and that, listening to music. But we started with a man called Philip Griffin until night. The first thing we learned about basic animations. We learned flash animation with stick figures, like you see in YouTubers a lot. Play motion, just like the trap door, little animation so you just see in ABC. Actually. Green screen, where, Hollywood. Animations become really closer, so here's some witty clips.
I'm fine. You have a nice panda today, baby.
I'm having a nice panda day. Are you still wearing your panda pajamas?
You
So that was a love film by the art groups. You got Amy, Dougie, Jane, and Kimmy. Now, my older video about when I went to make movies in India, had 14 hours with my parents, make a short film. So here, India,